You ready to go to daycare? Are you ready to go to daycare for today? Huh? You spend Saturday playing with your friends? Huh? Yeah. You got your bow tie looking all good for the ladies? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Say, Mommy left for 10 days for work and left the boys at home all alone. What? Get them. Get them. You say hello? Okay. Cold out this morning. Look at the windshield. Frosted over. I'm going to daycare for a little while. Play out all that energy. Uh-huh. Well, I go to work. Come back and get you in a bit. All right, everybody, rise and grind. It's Saturday. We are back out on the farm project. I got both machines warming up. It's a little frosty this morning. It got down to about 30 some degrees and everything's got a nice heavy coat of frost on it. So we are back out here with both Munchies. We got work for both of them today. I got to put some fuel in the ASV really quick, and I got to put some grease in the Mini, and I'm gonna show you guys what we got right now. So let's take a look. Okay, so here's the next section I'm gonna knock out really quick before we work our way back on down the trail and hop that big puddle down there and go on the other side down there. So I'm gonna knock this section out real quick. I'm gonna hog out what I can really quick with the skid steer. It doesn't look like it's gonna be much, maybe just kind of this corner section, and the rest of it I'm probably gonna have to get with the Mini because it gets pretty tight in there. Not a lot of room for the skid steer, so not too much to it though. anyway, I got hogged out what I could get hogged out with the skiddy, and we'll come through here and clean up some of these tighter areas, and I'll kind of process some of this down a little more, and we'll make this look good. I'll get rid of a couple of gum trees, and this over here opened up nicely. There was a lot more room to work in this little section right here, so that opened up pretty good. We need to clean up a little bit of the edge here and get in that area in there. But so one thing about the mulcher heads, walk over here, I'll show you. So one thing about these mulcher teeth on here for doing this part of this job, specifically like these burn areas, I am not sharpening these teeth. I sharpened them right before I got started, and I've got, I don't know, a good bit of grinding on them so far, and I haven't sharpened them at all since I started. And they are a little dull, no doubt, but they're kind of more rounded, I guess you could say, there a little bit. But because this stuff is so dead and so dry, we're more pulverizing it than we are slicing into it, and we're doing a lot of the grinding on the ground and subsoiling a good bit. So this would actually be a really good job. This is like the one job where, you know, carbides would actually be pretty useful. I mean, we've cut down a few live gums, but other than that, you know, it's mostly been just this dead and dry crap, and it's more just kind of pulverizing it than actually slicing into it. And so but I would not go through, you know, if I had 100 acres of mulch or stuff like this, these would all be carbides. But for this little job, I wasn't going to take all the time and then all the money it would cost to replace these 30 teeth with carbides. That would be expensive. But they don't have to be necessarily super sharp to grind this you know, material up that's dead and dry and rotten, burned up. So that can really kind of, it'll really save on your tooth life, because if you keep sharpening them and keeping them sharpening them, and you're just putting them down in the dirt, pulverizing this stuff up, it's going to wear your teeth out really, really quick. So I'm not sharpening them at all until we go cut this back property line over here, because when I go do that, I got to go through stuff like this, you know, more live material like this inkberry and some pine trees and stuff like that. Then I will have these teeth razor sharp. But for this stuff, no, I'm just going to let them run dull, and they'll be more than good enough. Because even as dull teeth like that, they're still much sharper than carbides would ever be. So just a quick tip there: if you're doing this kind of work and you're using knives, don't worry about sharpening them. Just run them, and you know, you'll be just fine. So let's go and crank up the Mini, let it get warmed up, and we'll get started thinning that out. Hey everybody, if you're interested in getting one of these mulchers, please contact my friends over at CCE Equipment. They're a full-line dealer of Preenaw, Thinnis, Seamoth, Fecon, Lofness, as well as ASV and Wacker Newson equipment. They carry a full line of stuff. They do sales, rentals, they ship nationwide. If you need anything, please look them up and use the promo code IDIGIT and they will hook you up. Thanks guys. Okay, this is pretty much done. The only thing I got left to do is just grind up a couple of piles, one there and one over there, just some pieces that were kind of against the edge and back in some places where I either couldn't get to them or some pieces that the mulchers had shot off into the woods. So I went around, just kind of police called some of that stuff up. But yeah, this looks good in here. I wasn't able to do a whole lot of it with the skid steer mulcher. It's a bit too tight in here around those trees, but the mini with the mulcher head did a great job in here thinning this out. It is a great tool for doing this right here and trying to, you know, save as many of these trees as possible. If I just had the skid steer in here, it would either be a lot of handwork or I'd be having to take a lot of trees that the owner wants to keep, one or the other. Or I'd be leaving a lot of sections undone, you know. So two of them I think would end up not being a good job, and the third would almost be inefficient trying to, you know, get a lot of those areas by hand. It would be tough. So this looks good. I got to get the mini. I'm gonna sneak the mini right in here really quick. We're just gonna clean up a little bit of this down and get any of these pines that are dead suns in my face. I'm trying to see which ones are dead. There's not too many of them actually. We just need to kind of clean this little area right here up. Not too much, shouldn't take too long. And then we got to cross this big old pond right here, and we don't have to do really anything in here. There's no real deadfall. I mean, it's got some inkberry growing in here, but you know, all this was pretty wet in here when it burned. But we got to get on the other side. Let's go over there really quick. So right about where this little trailhead right here starts is where we've got to basically get in here and start getting this cleaned out. And as this goes up this hill, it gets a lot worse. I'll probably bring the ASV in somewhere right about here, and we'll work our way through here and just start hogging out this middle. And it goes all the way down to another trailhead right on down. So this whole middle section, luckily most of these trees in here were pretty small. There's nothing, doesn't look like there's anything super big laying down in there. Not too bad. So all this has got to go all the way down to that little corner right there. So it's not a huge, and it doesn't go too far back, honestly. I like that other one. So it's really just kind of about where that big pine is standing is about the border of it. So it's not too much. So we should definitely be able to get all this done today. No problem. I got to pick up Oliver by about no later than about 6. So, and I'm about an hour and 15 from where he is. So we should no problem getting this hogged out today and getting it done. So let's get started. piles of ground. That one little section up there on the other side of this pond is done. Got that done with the mini first thing. And now we're gonna start on this section. So I'm basically just gonna work my way in right here and work my way down this line, and that's pretty much gonna be it. And then we'll bring the mini back in here, probably touch up, you know, around some of these trees, work our way down. It's not a far run, and it's not a very wide run, so this shouldn't take too awfully long to get knocked out. One thing I not super impressed with this ASV is its traction in the mud. I mean, I was slipping and sliding trying to get over out of that puddle up in here, and these tracks, I mean, they ride great. The ride is amazing, but you know, that deer, you know, when I had the deer with those sea log tracks, that thing would just go anywhere. You know, it had a lot of grip and a lot of tractive power, because those tracks would really get into that mud and grab and push you. And these things tend to slip and slide and slick around a little more. But so far I haven't gotten stuck, so no complaints. But you can definitely tell a difference in the deer. You know, if you buy one of these things and you're used to running a Takeuchi or a deer or a Kubota or something like that with the bigger lug tracks, and you go to one of these, you're definitely going to tell a difference in the traction because of the track pattern. But you'll definitely tell a big difference in the quality of the ride. It rides a lot better too. But okay, let's get to grinding. in cab here. I don't do much in cab because I just don't feel like anybody wants to hear me run my mouth, but we'll do a little in cab. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the sound of this thing. It's a little loud. I'll go ahead and just work my way back here, make a line. How wet this ground is right here where I'm getting started. Now, if I get stuck, I got the mini. It's not the end of the world. But you can tell there's a lot of water in there. Oh, it's muddy. It's muddy, it's mucky. We might get stuck. I go up this way though, the better it's gonna be. It'll get a lot less wet and mucky as we go up this hill. Just need to clear me a little bit of room to work here. I'm not taking down that pine. That pine's alive. Figure out the mulcher on the mini when I was running it, something like that. Really kind of get the hang of it, what it would do and what it wouldn't do, and kind of figure out the best way to attack different vegetation, you know, either standing or laying down in different size vegetation. We'll knock this down. Let's see if we can't knock it down. Trees, when you try to knock them down, they just explode. All that stuff just comes back all over you. I'm running 42 gallons a minute, and this thing is performing very well. At 42 GPM. Very well, no complaints. It's going through this stuff very well. disintegrate. They want to break and fall and basically act like widow makers. You know, and that, you know, if it was a really, really big tree, you do not want that, you know, top falling down lining them up really easy. Okay, we have got this looking good. This looks great in here so far. Very happy. So I got the mini, and I do a little finish work in here, come along this edge, clean up some of this stuff in here. It was getting a little difficult to get in here Some of this property was logged years and years ago, and you can see the ruts through here from the machine. And we ran into some ruts back there on this side over here where we got to cut that property line. We're going to go in about right there where the Mini is, and it goes all the way back around. But anyway, so that made getting in here a little bit more difficult, because once you get in those ruts and the machine starts getting off kilter, it's kind of hard to get the mulcher flat on the ground to mulch. So, and then also that mulch kind of gets down, you can see, kind of gets down in the ruts themselves, and you can't really get down in there to it. So we just need to stick the head in here, get back in there, clean a little bit of this up right in there, and this will be about done. So let's hop in the Mini and get to it. I think we're done. That'll be up to the owner to come by and take a look, make sure there's nothing else he wants me to touch up, but I think we're good in here. This opened up really nicely, and like I said in the other video, just looking at this before I mulched it out, I thought this would make a great area for an orchard in here. It's you know, most of these pines are still pretty juvenile, and you know, you still get plenty of sun in any fruit trees you plant in here. And if you had to thin a few of these pines out later on to give them a little more sun, you could probably do it, but I think this would be a great place for that. I mean, you could food plot it, but he's got a whole area, he's got 2 more areas right down there where he's gonna food plot, I think. So I mean, he's got plenty of food plot area out here. I mean, there's a field right over just down the road there that's where we connect, where I mulch that median section out. I mean, we're going to connect those 2 fields. I think that's all going to be food plot, I think. So yeah, this would make a really pretty orchard in here. Plant some fruit trees, man, that'd be nice. But it opened up really nice, looks great. Some low areas in here with the ruts, and got a little wet, but other than that, not too bad. Nothing the Mini couldn't handle. So awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm gonna go get him right now. We're gonna go down there and look at some more stuff. I know there's an area he wants me to clean up down there, but I know there's some trees in there he wants to save, but I don't know which one. So if I can go find him and So you'll take a look at that, and that'll probably be Monday's project. We'll get to that. So, all right. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. I think my Saturday's about over with. So I'm gonna pop it and lock it, and that's gonna be my day. So I think I'm gonna just leave the Kubota right there where she sit. I think that's gonna hurt a thing. And I don't want to track it all the way back through the mud. I can walk through there. So, all right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you on the next one. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.